you can be a nice guy and still impose some discipline from time to time and impose some discipline on his political adversary. Do you know how many times he mentioned the word WEF, globalist, Bilderberg, Davos during the campaign? The 3 passports? I mean, I don't think Canadians know that Mark Carney had been advising Trudeau for the last 5 years. I don't think the Canadians knew on the WEF website.
God forbid you offend the liberal left.
No, I know.
In Canada.
No, because WEF, it's a conspiracy theory, according to the CBC.
Yeah.
But and let's
that.
let's not forget who Mark Carney is. Like now, we're like Pierre. Horrible job. Whoever's in charge of his campaign, shame on them for not getting in his ear, as we saw that they're like. But dude, he already made a climate change something statement in his victory. He's about ESG. He's about guys. He's a WEF puppet, and that's what you guys voted for.
So what could he have done differently? Why don't we do this? Okay, why don't we do this? What could he have done differently? Let's go through some of the stuff, and I mainly want to target one issue. Okay, your job. Who is the most unpredictable world leader right now?
Trump.
Is it even close?
0.
Okay.
Nobody else.
So guess what? A part of diplomacy is knowing how to deal with an unpredictable personality.
Yes.
Fair? Okay, let's go through it. Trump says Canada needs to be the 51st state. Okay? He comes out hard against Trump. Pierre. What should have Pierre done? Let's go back and look at what Pierre could have done differently. Go ahead.
I put out the tweet at the time where I said, he never needed to take an adversarial tone to Trump's threats of tariffs. He could have turned it around back on the Liberals and say, he said it in so many words, we have a fentanyl crisis in Canada. We have an immigration crisis in Canada where we've let in people who have not been vetted, who are trying to cross the border into the States, who are on terror watch lists. We've got fentanyl super labs. We've got a problem. We need to fix this. These are problems of the Liberals making, and Trump, as brash as he might be, has a legitimate grievance with Canada. That's what he could have done, is to turn it on the Canadians.
Should he have gone and met
the Liberals, sorry.
Should he have gone and met with Trump?
1,000%, because if he's not a player who is negotiating with Trump, no one's going to view him as a potential prime minister to sit down with Trump. When Trump called Carney Prime Minister Carney, and then the left was running around saying, oh, he didn't even call him Governor Carney, that shows you their mindset. So you go and you play ball with the players, and people are going to think you're good enough to play ball with the players.
So why didn't he go meet with Trump? Because he didn't have the opportunity, because he was worried about the optics?
I believe he was worried about the optics. Everything about this,
you're not a change agent.
No,
you're not a change agent.
And it's disloyal.
Bukele was a change agent. Okay, Milei, change agent. Trump, change agent. Bobby Kennedy, change agent. Maloney, change agent. Pierre Poilievre, same old. No change agent.
You got Marine Le Pen, Caitlin Georgescu, George Simeon, the populists of the world. And I believe sincerely that Canadians wanted a populist leader to lead them forward, not to bend the knee and say, I'll be slightly left of, even left of the left. Carney got a little bit more hardcore than Poilievre, where they were talking about immigration. You're talking about immigration, and they say, well, we'll reduce the numbers to 250,000 immigrants per year. That's the conservative position. After you have 4 million over the last decade. They were liberal lights. But the problem is you turn down the biggest voices on earth to make the things known about Carney that need to be known to the Canadians? I would have loved to have seen him on Theo. I would have loved to have seen him on Rogan. I would have loved to have seen him on Nelk for different reasons. I would have loved him. He wouldn't have gone on Tucker, because Tucker would have actually asked him tough questions, and that's scary for him. I would have loved to have seen him on Making. And then, these people say, why would they want to go on these American podcasts? Because if you're on Twitter, Twitter is everybody. He would have had hundreds of millions of views on Twitter where you consume content. The landscape has changed. YouTube, Twitter is a different game. Canadians consume content on Twitter and YouTube. It's optics. It's laughter. It's an opportunity to do something with Theo. Do you remember the time where J.D. Vance was on Theo and they talked about cocaine? Do you remember that one time?
Dying laughing.
And J.D. is laughing. You know what side of J.D. you saw? Can you pull up the J.D. clip of how hard he laughed with Theo Von? Theo may honestly be the most important podcast for a candidate to go on. And if I was a campaign manager, he's my number one on the list. Do you know why? Because he humanizes you. Is this it, Rob?
I believe so.
Let's see this clip. Go for it. Go ahead.
I don't know if I'd be.
He brought that up with Trump as well. He's like, man, it keeps you up at night like an owl, baby.
That's the future, the potential future vice president sitting there laughing with Theo about cocaine, and it made me go, oh man, he's hilarious. He gets it. He's one of us. It's not just a politician.
Because if there's anything that we've learned from Trump is that people want authenticity. They want an authentic candidate. So what you're saying about Theo Von is he'll make you human. He'll make you laugh.
I think he's so. As a campaign manager, I would have the best relationship with 5 podcasts in America, and he's one of them on my top 5.
Well, the issue is,
can I say one thing just about Canada? Because I have a different perspective here. My brother-in-law is from Canada. He moved here 10 years ago. So the reason he moved here, he's like, dude, I got out of there. I saw the writing on the wall. His brother still lives there. He's there with his family. So and my dad's from Detroit, right next to Windsor. I have a good relationship with a lot of the Canadians here. But I have a different perspective. Here it is. Canada is the most progressive country in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, they're basically like Scandinavian, Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Norway, all in one, just north of the border here. They're essentially California with maple syrup and hockey. All they do is they're socially progressive and fiscally socialist. How you doing? You saying anything to me?
I'm just giving some behind the scenes to people on
Yeah.
PBD Podcast
No
Circle.
problem.
If you want to see the shoes he's got on or no shoes that he's got on, go on PBD Podcast Circle.
PBD,
I'm
what's
gonna
your
post
point,
this
PBD?
there.
I'm trying to
What's
make a
my
point here.
They have to go see it. This video is only going to be on Manek Circle PBD Podcast. Go ahead, Adam.
Guys, here it is. I don't have my shoes up. All right.
So funny.
So
He wasn't making a point in the middle of you not making a point. Back to not making it.
But the point
going.
is, they are borderline communist. And we've seen so many people over the last 4 years be like, dude, get me out of this place. So, you're saying that anything that happens, you'll blame on Trump. Okay, I'm with you on that. But some of it actually does fall on Trump. Like, I guess I want a similar breakdown to what you're thinking here, because you don't go from 90% approval ratings to all of a sudden hovering in the 20s, right when Trump takes office and starts talking about 51st state. In my opinion, one of my greatest friends and mentors wrote a book called Choose Your Enemies Wisely. When Trump showed up and basically started talking about the 51st state, Canadians and Mark Carney all of a sudden had an enemy. Because if you look at approval ratings in Canada, Trump is despised. Okay? It's like California. Good luck convincing California that a fiscal conservative guy like Trump or a socially conservative guy like Trump is the best approach in Canada. Good luck.
Good luck changing Canada.
No, you're not. That's my point.
Good luck changing
my
California.
My point is they're the most progressive country
Good luck. You keep
in the
losing
Western
conservatives
Hemisphere.
that are leaving Canada.
No doubt. I mean, they're going ultra liberal, and they're going to pay the price by
job,
doubling down on
folks.
Justin Trudeau. Just remember this: Justin Trudeau's approval rankings, right around the beginning of the year, was what, 25%? Horrible. And Canadians just looked at Justin Trudeau, Part 2, Mark Carney, and said, "We want more of that." And it was almost like a FU vote to Trump for the 51st state.
That's why
my
I
opinion.
said he is the most chaotic, unpredictable candidate. The way you handle him qualifies you to be the prime minister of a country. You mishandled him, period. That was a mishandling. It's an opponent. How do you handle this opponent? He's not going away. And you don't know how to handle him? Then you don't belong at this job.
So
no problem.
Can I ask you a question, Pat?
Yeah.
This would have been a
What
layup.
percentage, and I agree with you, he should have gone on candidates, he should have been more human, he should have basically
Yes.
been a change agent.
Yes.
What percentage of this loss, do you put on Trudeau? Sorry, on
Pierre.
Pierre Poilievre? What percentage do you put on Trump? What percentage do you put on just the TDS, Trump derangement syndrome that goes on in
100%
Canada?
on Pierre because
100%?
100% on Pierre because you're in control of a way that you have an unpredictable candidate. What are you talking about? My son is playing against somebody that you're preparing for an opponent, and the guy the entire game says, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck, you suck. How you handle, what percentage was on the kid that kept telling your son he sucks? It's 100% on my son.
Well,
How do you handle it? He's going to say you suck. The kid's got a reputation. He's going to keep telling you how much you suck. How do you handle that? That's the difference, because to me, you can sit there and play this, whatever you want to call it. Oh my God, it's all Trump's fault. It's because of him that we lost, and because of him that we. Okay, keep putting reasons why you lose on the outside and not on you. Keep putting that and see what happens.
That's exactly right. I agree. I agree.
Let me just respond one
agreed.
Tom, let me just say one thing, and I'm coming right to you, please. I agree with you that a lot of it goes on to Pierre. I'm not willing to go 100%, because that means that the entire electorate in Canada is just based on Trump. I don't think that's what it is. I think he definitely deserves a lot of the credit for the loss. But to say that
100%. It's 100% on
all right.
him. It's 100% on him. But by the way, what percentage of DeSantis' mishandling of his campaign 2.5 years ago is on him versus Trump?
A large percentage.
100% of it.
Okay.
None of it is on Trump. You have to make the phone call. Why do I call him? What do you mean, what do you call him for? He helped me become a governor. But did you see I won by 1.5 million? Not the first time around 34,000. You mishandled it. Go visit him at Mar-a-Lago. I don't need to visit him at Mar-a-Lago. Who the hell are you? He came before you. He's the alpha, not you.
Danielle Smith went to meet with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. She's more popular in Alberta now. It's like courage is contagious.
Texas of Canada.
Yeah, well, it's definitely more free-minded and free-spirited.
So is Saskatchewan and certain other
What do
provinces.
you think about Maxime?
Maxime Bernier, I mean, I like him. He's not a viable candidate for prime minister yet, or maybe never, just because of the way the Canadian political system works. I ran for the People's Party of Canada in 2021, and I've seen how it works.
Yeah.
Like, when you control the media, you control the swaths of the population's access to information. I did an interview on the CBC when I was running, and they didn't upload the interview to the CBC website because I guess they didn't like the way it went. It didn't make me look bad enough, and I had to hound them to put it on the internet so that I could share it the day before the election.
Tom. And then let's transition out.
My thought on this
In a healthy
is
way.
Pierre missed it. Pierre missed it with such a layup. He says, President Trump is talking about 51st state. That's Trudeau's Canada. That's Trudeau's Canada. Our Canada, we're not the 51st state. We're going to be the #1 partner of the largest economy in the world. And we're going to enjoy this incredible partnership. And we are not going to go to the seeds of liberalism where Carney is taking us. It was such an easy distinction to make where you make the harbor here and now you open the door for Trump to come back and to say that's exactly right. See, we want to be the trading partner. We want to be the NAFTA partner. This is what we want to be. This is what we're going to do. The 51st state, when you hear Trump saying about that, that's Trudeau's Canada. Do you want more of that? Vote for that. You want us to move forward? Go with us. And by the way, and then remember, guys, words talk, numbers scream. 1.2 percentage points. This was not a liberal spike. This was not a blowout. 1.2 points lost after running the most horrific, arrogant, entitled campaign in Canadian conservative politics.
Tom, what do you mean 1.2? That was the margin of victory?
Yeah, on the national, the party votes between
Benny
the two
Johnson
parties.
just tweeted this, and he said the most important question. Go to the tweet, Rob, if you could, instead of the image. Oh, don't worry about it.
I can read it.
I have it.
Oh, you have it. Okay, watch this. He says, Canadians 60 years and older are more worried about dealing with Trump than Canada's housing crisis or cost of living. Young people, they want affordable living costs and rents. Boomers looked south, shrugged, and let Canada rot. Okay, go to that chart.
Look at that chart.
Okay, look at this. The ages, blue 18 to 29, green 13 to 44, yellow is 45 to 59, red is 16 over. Look at blue. Make Canada a better place to live is what the young is worried about. Sure. Look at growing the economy, blue. The younger generation, 18 to 29. Making housing more affordable, blue. Look how much boomers cared about the youth of Canada making housing. They could care less.
Okay,
Look how
boomer.
much they care about making Canada a better place to live. They could care less. Look how much they care about growing the economy. They could care less. Look how much they fear a Trump. Look at the second one. Delusional. Delusional.
They are the most propagandized
and by the way, what's
people
crazy is the older generation generally becomes more conservative. Wow. Generally becomes more conservative unless if you live in Canada.
Well,
or socialist Greece, and we saw what happened when you took 15 years ago when they took away their benefits under austerity. Remember?
Bankruptcy.
Yeah, they flip out. So in other words, an old generation in a capitalist society becomes more conservative. Older generations in entitled society, wait, give me my check and let me sip my wine in the afternoon.
that is the there's a
for
certain
the young people in Canada.
There's a capture in Canada where you get 1 in 4 people working directly or indirectly for the government. They're going to be beholden to the government, and I think that probably is a lot more 60 and over dependent on government, whatever for subsistence, and that's how you get them captured. But it's propagandized to the point where I genuinely believe it's something like Stockholm Syndrome-esque, where a lot of the Canadians feel that their own crises are too difficult and too complicated to solve, and they got that big boogeyman being flashed in their face by the media.
During a season like this, where a lot of people are going through challenging times, they're worried. They don't know what's going on. Some of the people are having a hard time with their finances, with their small businesses, with their careers, with their families. Stress, period, anxiety, any of that stuff. I said, I think we need something to make people's day. And I think our audience wants to participate in that. So what do? We sat there and said, we want to come up, since our audience, a lot of business owners, executives, small business owners, entrepreneurs, we want to give you the opportunity to send a package to anybody you know that's going through a challenging time with a heartfelt message to make their day. So today, we're launching this new initiative called When Life Gives You Lemons, what do? Make lemonade. This program right here, Rob, if you want to play the clip. So we're sitting, we come up with this idea. Here's what it is. The box is when you choose to order this program that we have, okay? You send this box. We send it on behalf of you. That box right there, they open it up. There's a video message being played by me, an encouraging message about what they're going through today. They get a hat. On top of that, they get the smell. When you open this up, it smells like lemon, literally when you open it up. You get to pick and choose. My video is playing right here when they open it up. Obviously, I'm going to press pause here. But it's an encouraging message. You get to pick and choose what color hat they get. It's either the white lemon hat with Valuetainment and a lemon on the back, and it says, when life gives you a lemon. In the middle, it says, make lemonade. You can choose the green hat, or you can choose the red and green, all of this, but the black and green in it. Anyways, inside of it, when you open it up, there's a Valuetainment paper that's in it. There's this lemon squeezer that's in it. You got these, what do you call these things?
Air fresheners.
Air fresheners in the car. You got a bunch of stickers, bunch of lemons, and then stress balls in it, okay? They're going to laugh. They're going to have fun with it. But if you're somebody that's watching this, you have a friend, a family member, a coworker that's really going through it today, and you want to put the biggest smile on their face, representing both Valuetainment and the individual that's going through it, go to vtmerch.com, Rob, if you can help them walk through this. And there's going to be a card in it. You can go to vtmerch.com. Rob, if you can go to the card so they can see what that'll look like. So they'll get that box. You see the future looks bright on it, hashtag. And then the note right there with your name on the bottom left, meaning sent to you with care from your name being in there. So this is more than just a box. It's a message of optimism, encouragement, and the power of turning life's lemons into something amazing. We want to be able to use these opportunities to make people's days. We did this with only a limited 500 of these. We don't have more of these. These are all handmade. These took 6 weeks to make. So we only have 500 supply. The cost on this, we're making no money on this. This is $74.99 to ship it to somebody with everything that's in there. So go to vtmerch.com, place your order. And when you do, be sure in the shipping address, you put their shipping address. Unless if you want one that comes to you, they're going to be limited supplies. You can have one being shipped to you and you go deliver to somebody. I'm personally sending 10 to people that I know, and I think Pierre Poilievre's on the list of one of the ones that I have that are shipping it
Better
to.
put an apple in that one.
Yeah, put an apple in there
But
too.
they're going to be going to some of the people that I have as well.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.